Hi again, everyone. Uh, just on to the next part of the build, really. In the last video, we did the bottom bracket and the headset. So, in this one, my plan is to get the rear mudguard on, the parcel shelf or the rear rack, get the wheels on, get the crank set on, fit the cotter pins, and then fit I'll get the gear shifter on and then get the chain guard on. Just allows a bit of better access around there. Just trying to think what else. I think that's it really. I'm waiting on some other parts. So I have ordered some more bits. Just so it's near enough finished. I'm just literally finishing off trying to get a front mudguard for it. Got brake calipers, which I need to make up. Or I'm going to strip down and clean up and then make up. So I'll do a video with that. But the parts what I've ordered is another lamp bracket, because this one is not in good, well, as good in good condition as that. It's not as in good condition, so I've ordered that. A stand, because I've got one, but it's the same again. It's not in that much of a good condition. I've got some of them, but with this one I've ordered. I haven't got to do anything like that. So rear reflector for the saddle, because when I was stripping the other saddle down to see how good I can get the back plate up, but it was too far gone. It wants re-chroming really. But what I've done when I've taken the old reflector off, it was rusty anyway, all the way around the surrounding, and the nut actually broke off the thread. So yeah, I've ordered that. I've ordered a TI Raleigh decal for the bottom because it didn't come with this stick set, which I got. Some head badge rivets. Got some of them. Just thinking what else. Oh, and some sissy bar springs, which I needed. So probably about like 99% there now. Anything like I said, probably I just need to get a mudguard for it, which I'm in the process of sorting out. I've got a grifter one, which is the same. It's a bit better of a job to get it re-chromed as well. They're the same as a chopper. Well, regardless of in different lengths and different years of grifters, they do have different sizes, but they are just the same. Plus, if you are going down the route of re-chroming a front mudguard, you are better off looking for a grifter one and taking that, because with a lot of the time with having it chromed over the years, you're looking at 50-year bike, you can actually get problems with pitting, which you all know. But yeah, you won't have that issue because it's been painted. If you get a cleanly painted mudguard, straight to the platers, they'll do a polish, light polish on it or whatever they think, and then chrome it. It will literally look right. Well, it will look like brand new. So yeah, got that and the works. Just trying something else. But yeah, we'll get some parts on anyway. Start with the rear mudguard. There's something I want to show you as well. That's like I've explained in the last video. I'll show you. Just mention this first. But obviously I've got a Mark IV rear mudguard. So what I've done, so these holes line up on the very top. I've actually had, when I got this repaired, I got them to fill that in, or the old bottom hole, what is, well, near enough around the wrap round of the frame. It's just slightly higher up, so it lines up with the Mark IV mudguard a bit better. Reason being, I know there is some people I've put them on, sit in that spot, but they don't line up with two, and you can do a little bit of a modification and put some brackets under there, but ideally, I'd like the bolts where they should be. At least the mudguards, well, it's bolted up correctly. And another thing, if you do have it in the original holes, the mudguard will sit lower. So when you come to put your rear rack on, it doesn't look that great to me personally. And another thing, if you look at an original one, this is how bad the other one was. Like, there's loads of pit marks. You probably would get it out, but the thing is, we're getting these re-chromed. They have to polish them that much, and they can get that thin, and then it's brittle already. You see how much flex is in that as it is already. But what I'm getting at, if you look at lengthwise from where holes line up, you can see already. So if that one's still higher, and it varies over the years on the choppers, but if you had that in the lower mounting point, it's going to sit lower. So it's only off a bit, but like I say, I prefer it lining up on some natural holes. But yeah, the first thing we'll do, we'll get that onto there. We've got nuts and bolts ready. To get that one, get these lined up first. Oops, lower. What I'll probably do is that one down there. So, a dab of grease on it. Just allows it to go in nicely. Put that through that side. Bolt's a bit too long, but it doesn't matter once it's in the frame. That. And if I can shove that into place, I'll get these in. That's one bolt there. Hope everybody else's builds are going on alright, and all the projects. It's nice to see the chopper scene still strong. That's the main thing. Where's that gone? Where's that gone? No, not somewhere. Another thing as well, just trying to think, if you're struggling for fasteners and that, you can try, I know you can nip down to B&Q if you've got one quite local to you. If you need large coach bolts for the sissy bar clamps, you can buy a similar, they won't be original, but if you need to get them, a screwdriver, just jumping off things 1 second with you guys. But yeah, if you're struggling to get nuts and bolts, B&Q is quite good, or hardware store. You can go for the original ones, but it depends what depth of detail you're going with your bike. So you could, wait, tighten that bottom one up. It's all down to what depth you're going with your bike. If you're trying to go for show bike finish, then yeah, of course, go for try find some new old stock nuts and bolts. Oops. Try look for some new old stock nuts and bolts. But if you just want to get your bike built up, looking nice, pretty similar to like this. I've gone down the line of having new old stock parts in the past and having everything re-chromed, and but with this one, this is a rider. You'll get rid in. It's not a show pony or anything. This will get rid in. So that's why I really went down the line of wanting to get the Mark IV parts. Another thing, what would be quite good if you can actually get these more viable again with the parts. So how much they're going for, firstly, on the Raleigh website, it's affordable. I think a great thing would be is getting it to where it's like just a weekly magazine type of thing where you can buy one thing 1 week or a couple of parts one time, or it can vary, can't it? So plus it keeps this bike alive. I think the generations as they go, this bike we put up, well, distance past as as it is, these are getting rarer and rarer as it is. They're still out there. They're not. There's not a massive. They're always popping up all the time. People have got them tucked away or forgotten about in lofts and bits and bobs and stuff. So they are still out there. They just need to be found. But yeah, of course, saying I've done loads of these up in the past, and it's really where you want to go with it. If you're going to be riding it, do it up to a nice standard. But if you get a good original, just clean it up. Chrome works good. Best thing I suggest is if you're cleaning it, you can go to like B&M or anywhere really, Asda or Tesco's or Sainsbury's, and they'll sell Abrilla pads with the soap, and it's brilliant. They're brilliant really because they don't tarnish the chrome. Where there's other methods what you can do. Well, it tarnishes it. You can like do the W40 or wire wool, but I think it's too abrasive. But with like the Brillo pads, it's used on your cookery really, like your pots and pans and well, so much your pans and that sort of stuff really. So stainless steelware and bits and bobs. So it's great for great chrome work, cleaning it up. Yeah, that's a mudguard fitted. So we've got the bottom bolt screwed in, two tops. What we'll get next is the rear rack. So, these are another one. That's a reproduction. I think they still do them on eBay. I did have to return it the first time because when I got it, it was a little bit rough. And nicely, the bloke replied straight away back to me, says, "Send it back, and we'll send you out on a replacement." And I was like, "Perfect." But I think he's got some with some blemishes for around about £25, which you can't moan really if you've got one that's quite rough already, and you just want to get it chucked on just to make the bike look that little bit better. They do them, but if you want to go for a nicer one, they do have them for about £40. But again, they struggle with when they get these re-chromed, they struggle to get into hard to reach areas. So something like that, or even around here, and then you'll see waviness and flat spots, and you don't want to see that. So I've just gone for a repro one in tool comparison. So let's get that into that. Way down to the bottom. Looking good. Tune some bolts. And just press that in a little bit. Okay. Oops. Oops to the bolt. Not catching the thread. I think I've got it now. That's what's got it. I think another place where I used to get some nuts and bolts was Boys, which isn't too bad. I think they're about £2 a pack for a pack of 10 or 20 screws and nuts. This nut and bolt. Yeah, I know they're not original, but at least they've got the flathead. I did manage to get, funny enough, went to the car boot. I don't know if it is actually, if they're Raleigh. Got them here actually. I don't know if they are Raleigh, but it's like they're labelled up. Raleigh, but it could obviously be old engineering, but got a box full of these. So they did come with a nut and bolt. But I did, I could have used them really. I like the ones how these looked. So I don't think, might have a bit of the same amount of reach. That's what I've done. I just like to look at them ones into comparison. So if you look at the old Raleigh ones, they've got more of a dome on them. The them ones, they're a bit less than that. So yeah, looking good. So I don't know if they are Raleigh Pacific ones, the ones I was looking at. What I've got there, sorry. Ooh, the rat bush on this one. One thing to look at is when you get these, just make sure it's all straight. I don't know where he's got them made. Ooh, I wonder. Go on. I'm gonna try this side. Apply some pressure, then do it. Yeah, my thumb and it's squashing my thumb, and then it's just dropped. Ooh. Look in the bike. Move this brake cleaner. There we go. There a second. I've got big fingers, you end up really struggling with little fiddly screws. Let's try that again. Got it? Yeah, I've got it. Bit of pressure. Bit of pressure in it, gets it. Right, just make sure that's got enough of it on there. Yeah. There we go. Another thing as well, when you get in your frames, painted or powder coated, cap them off, but always, well, if you're rebuilding one, you're going to have some mechanical knowledge. Always file these out. I've got to go over mine again. It just seemed like the sissy bar's catching as it goes up and down, which we don't want, so I need to go with that, so get that done. Yeah, I've got them parts on. I should be able to still get to the brake caliper once I get the wheel on, so ideally it is better to get the caliper on and then the wheel on and put the brake pads, but I haven't got the calipers built up just yet. There's the back wheel. Same thing I was saying again. The price is what Raleigh was selling the rims for, which would be great if they could reduce them again. That it's cheaper. It's a cheaper alternative. It's not like it's going to put the chrome platers out of business. It just makes it easy and feasible more for everybody to get, set of wheels really, and just keeping the bikes going. A lot of the time people's builds stop because they haven't got parts as such, so it helps. It keeps the project going, doesn't it? If you can buy them off the shelf, it's getting another chopper built. So, right. Next thing we'll do, we'll get the cranks on. We'll do the wheel, tighten that all up once we've got chain on and everything. But same thing again, what I was doing. These are a longer crank arm. They are off a Raleigh Chopper, but it's just reason being a Mark II. Well, it's a kid's bike, but Mark II is a short frame, as you all know. Where the Mark 1, you're more enough on the back of you haven't got the curve like the Mark II does. So to give you that bit more, feel like you got a bit more space, gone for a longer set of cranks, and that's just personal preference really. It's my bike at the end of the day. So what we'll do a bit of grease on that, the axle. It stops everything fusing together. I've made it to where I don't take the cranks off again, but I don't want it all fusing. Have a bit in there first before putting the crank on. But if you know as well, the cotter pins actually go on a particular way, which a lot of people don't really know. And another thing, some of these cotter pins, what you do get, they are different, can be different shapes. So what I've had to do with these ones off screen, I actually have to grind a little bit more off, just so I can get it to go enough all the way through so you can thread it. But like I was saying about the direction, you always want to go that way, just not, and you don't want to go that way. Reason being, if you go, it's when you're applying pressure. So when you push your crank down, that'll fight against that, and the nut won't come loose. Where if you do have it top way around, as you apply pressure, it shouldn't come out because everything's tight, but effectively over time that will come its way loose. So if you look at your crank as such like that, you'll feed your cotter pin straight from underneath. And this has been told from me from an old boy at a bike shop where he's, well, so many rallies or old bikes. He's about 70 odd years of age now, so there's cloth. So he's done his time with bikes, and he's seen the days and everything. Well, the days as they go. Yeah, a bit of grease on that thread. Oops, too much, just a little bit, so don't fuse. Make sure he's put a washer on it and the nut. Now I've got our nuts on these as well, just to give it a bit more of that Raleigh bling. It was nice to have all the added touches. So look, where have I put that now? Just heard my spanner. Did have a spanner the other day. I don't know where it's gone. Where have I put that? I don't think it is 10mm, is it? Is it 10mm? No, I think it's 12. Gotta find it. Put it under the seat. Put it down somewhere and I don't know where I've put it. Oh, that's my uncle clicking. Where are we? Anyway, found it. So, get it tightened up. using the proper tool really. I've got an adjustable spanner, but that will do it at the moment. Just make sure that's lined up nicely. I've got that. And just be careful with these. Well, best thing to do if you are putting R nuts on them, measure your distance from there, because if it goes too much, it'll actually pop out the R nut. So measure them first. So yeah, just measure them first, double check to make sure you don't pop the end of the R nut out, because it's happened to me in the past. So, and if you've paid a lot of money for a pair of new old stuck R nuts and you end up popping the ends off and then they mushroom a little bit. So we'll check that one. Yeah, that one's fine. You don't want to do these mega tight either, because they're only, well, they're a bit of a soft metal. So that's your drive side done. Get the other side on. Starting to take shape now. I'm thinking, to be fair, of getting a new rear disc, but I've cleaned it up and polished it, so it doesn't look too bad. So a bit of grease on that axle. Drop a bit of grease in that. So same again. So when that one's facing up, with the R nut, you'll want to run this one facing down. So got that one there. So when this one goes in, faces down. Do that so it's that way. So I've been told 2 cranks. That's where that's in a nice position. Yeah. Okay. Taking the excess grease off. Get it wiped down after anyway. Once we've got it all built up. Now I've gone for a smaller sprocket as well. I think I've gone for a 17. I think they're in 18 normally. So a bit of a harder gear, but compensate with having longer cranks as well. So people do say, oh, you got to be careful with having longer cranks, obviously when turning, but I've done BMX racing, so you go around a corner, you always have to put your opposite foot up anyway. So same as like a road bike, never have your cranks level. But if I'm turning right, my cranks go that way. Turning left, my crank goes up that way. So yeah. It's gonna look nice when this is all built. Can't wait to ride it, especially in the summer. A few pints, well worth it. A bit of music. Crank arms tight. Get off. I'll claim that bottom bracket, but I'll get that adjusted up. Alright. Should be tight now. Double check it, go for a ride, double check it all anyway. So yeah, there's a back wheel. Get my chain. Where have I put that? A brand new chain in the box, and I don't know where I put it. Oh, there it is. There it is. So nice chain, KMC. They do make Shimano chains as well, KMC, the leading brand out there. And I'm going for a silver one. I know everybody likes to get it all original, but I like it where I've got this bike blinging. Another thing when putting chain on, to make sure, well, it's just me being a bit, well, wanting it all right, but I like to get it where the wheels in the right shape of the mudguard. So I don't like it when it's all the way forward and you see a massive gap at the top and the tyre does me. But it can always be down to what gear you've got on it. So let's get that onto there. Fix the chain nicely. Chain breaker, trusty handle chain breaker. Bought not long ago. So I'm hopefully going to be getting into my racing again. Well, should be getting into my racing again this year. So I built a bike box back up. So when I go away to a national or whatever, I've actually got my tools and spare inner tubes, chain rings, and grease and oils and everything. So cool thing about these as well, so jumping off to a different one, is it's just a pop link, so I can put that on the back. It doesn't look horrible with a split link. But yeah, what I was saying, just so when I go to a national, I've got spare bits. I'm gonna have to go out there and looking for parts or bits and bobs. I will get some spare what's it called, spare tyres. I'll do that when it comes up to the season. So what we'll do now, check where we need to chop. So I'll let that go around that a little bit more. Make sure your chain's always hugging round. Make sure you've got a single speed as well. So that's to there. If I go closer, the wheel's further in. Go to there. Check. Go to that one. See one wheel goes to. Turn these off a bit. And they finger tight. A little bit back. Not be too far back if I do it that way. Or not. Should be alright. So what we'll do, always double check, because once you chop it off, you've chopped it off. It's not a good idea to re-rivet chains. So I've had my fair share. Remember one day on my birthday, got a brand new BMX, just changed the gearing in on it, and then I riveted the chain. She went out and fell flat on my face, just down to a chain being riveted. So always put a split link in it, please, so you don't have no really bad accidents. I know, like the older chains, you could get away with that, but what happens when you put a chain in on that part, it actually can crack, or it's a one use in and one out. It's not worth it. I'll put them now. Okay. Put that on first. There we go. Like I was saying, it's just where the gaps at a better distance. That looks quite nice to me, really. Yeah. So these chains, can't pick it up because it's greasy. These, oh, yeah, that's it. With these chains, you have to push it like that, then you have a flat plate. So if you don't want to see that flat plate, spin it around, and it will go on the back side of it, so you won't see that part of the chain. So it still looks like it's a full one riveted chain. So we'll stick that on the back. All the way through. Okay. Once that chain's tight, like that, should be fine. it up. See what I'll do, just to make my life easier, because I know what's going to happen. I'll put the chain guard on. That out. Reason being, I know it's going to be slightly awkward. Right, let's get that nuts and bolts first. Make sure I put them. And then we've got a chain guard. Okay. Position. Fingers are a bit greasy from the chain. Right. Okay. Do pop this off a little bit. Where's my screwdriver? Yeah, that one's come off now. Screwdriver's there. It's looking quite cool now. Starting to look like a bike. Oh. Some pressure onto that. Oh, don't slip. I've got about a better flat screwdriver really. I've done with a fatter one. Coping. I'm coping with it. There we go. This is what I was saying. What was quite good about these chain guards, where these are this is a reproduction one. The shape's right. Sorry. Where you've got, if you look how that decal's lined up, it's lined up correctly. With a lot of these reproduction ones, they can kick up. So when you come to apply your decals, they don't line up, and to me it doesn't look great. So, and for the price of them, you can't grumble. All right, that's in position now. So. Yeah. I'll put this spanner. I shouldn't be using adjustable, but I don't think I've got anything smaller spanners than what I've got. It's this one. This might get into it. I think it's small enough. Oh, it is. That's nice then, isn't it? We ride down the road and your chain guards starts clanging about, do we? Let's see if I can get into that. That's the only issue I'm going to get. No, reach it. I'll have to try. Probably have to get that spanner, and it's a cheap spanner anyway, but I'll probably cut off the edges to get that tight at least. Done a back one, which is a hard to reach area. But yeah, always make sure your chain guards are tight on these. They do rattle loose. They're not tightened up all the way. So let's get this back wheel on. Nicely does it. I'll pull that back to an adjust. And that's in a happy place, that is on a dropout. It's in a nice spot. Right. Where's the 15mm? There it is. Right, she wants to tighten up, it's got loose. Too tight. And chains do stretch, to let you know. So make sure we're in the right position. To be fair to you, these washers, I've noticed I've had one crack in the past. Just be careful when you tighten them up. Okay. Nicely done. Oh, can you hear that up? Click, 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 click. Cool thing about having a steering archer off, each gear you're in, you get different tones. Because it's a 3-speed up, isn't it? So, yeah, click, 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 click. Let's have a test. It's more speed in. So, no, they haven't really got so much a different sound. Yeah. It's got no tight loose spot. That's pretty nice, that is. Stand back, admire it. Quite cool that does, doesn't it? Right. Get the shifter on. We'll put the shifter. There we go. If anybody wants to see an assembly video of one of these, just for help to, or just for reference really, how to build one up. I'll have to rebuild this one up, so if the camera can see. But if you've never done one before, you have actually pop it apart. Should I pop it apart? I haven't got a screwdriver at the moment, but you have your actuator, plastic actuator, and then you've got a slider arm and a slider table. So be careful when you take them apart, because you do have 2 ball bearings either side, but spring loaded. And then a bolt goes through the actual shifter arm with a spring washer. So, right. There's a shifter. It's a reproduction cable, but it is ribbed, so it does tie into it a little bit. So, with me, there is different ways to route these cables. My opinion, how they go through, the gear cable goes through that one, and then the brake cable goes through that one. But it is shown where some bikes what haven't been touched, and gear cable goes through that one, and then the brake cable just rides across it. But me personally, the gear cable goes in that one, because then it reaches down to it and goes down to the side to the fulcrum clip from where actually the cable goes through. So me personally, the right side's gear cable, where you've got a little eyelet hole. The left side's for the brake cable. Look at the caliper, cable will route round and go straight to the top of it, route down. So, well, different on the Mark 3s, but that's just because where the cables get routed through. So I was routed through that way. try not to do it that way. I don't like it's you don't want it running through that way. You want to run it through just behind the frame and just to there. Keep sure your cable's tidy. So now where's my fulcrum clip? I've just had it somewhere. Put it down. I think it's down here actually. I was putting everything ready when I did this video. Yeah. And again, if you get in contact with Bunny's bikes and use some of these fulcrum clips, he actually has got new old stock Steermy Archer ones. So if I showed you, I've got that other one. I did get one with the kit. I bought the nuts and bolts, but seems like the old rally stuff. It's more of a dome bolt. So where you'll see it's domed into where the new ones, it's a Phillips head, where there it's just a flat head. That's if you're trying to go for detail on a build. But the old trick was, you'd normally do this without the chain guard, but the old trick was if you didn't want to sprag this one out, you wouldn't have the chain guard in the way, you actually put it on the bottom of the frame and then slide it up, which you can do if you put it out a little bit, not loads, just that little bit, and you squeeze it back together when it goes onto here, and then fix up into there, and then put them together. There we go. Make sure you do these tight as well, because they do have a tendency to slip down. So we'll do slide that through that way. And another thing, these really only go one way, so your cable will go through the top and run down through the bottom. So best way to do it, just pull it through there, pop that through that side, and then run that up there. So now that's in position. Your nut and bolt. Okay. And then once you've done that, I'm going to select your shifter into second, like so. And then I'm going for the black cap. I've got a white one, but I prefer the look of the black one. Right. Just reason being, I've got a black gear knob on that, so it goes into tie. If it was a red one and that, it'd probably look alright, but I've done it to where it goes that way. So, and another note as well, if you're doing Mark 1s and 2s, the gear cables are at different lengths. So with the Mark 2, it's slightly shorter. Mark 1's a longer cable. So remember how I did this now. So I'd normally do it where it's not threaded all the way. So at least then you can get some adjustment on that. Or was it halfway? I can't remember now. About halfway. Now I took all that to there. And then I'll just have it to where the bracket's sat that way. In the back of the cables here. So it's not stretching over a large amount. Check what goes with that. Check. First, second, third. Right, I've got some slack there now. So I'll tee that up. It's on third. First. First. Second. And third. And another good thing to do as well, just do all the way down until that shifter moves, there you go. That's another trick as well. Click it to click again. But if that shifter starts to move, then your gear's too much. You're in that gear, it's pulling in second, sorry. So that's your first, second, and third. So that's pretty hard of a gear, but I don't really mind having it like that. That's nice, that is. That drag should go when I start riding it anyway. Yeah. Pretty straightforward really on the shifters, in comparison to like a derailleur gear. Yeah, got that in situ now. We'll chuck on this front wheel. I'll chuck on the handlebars. I did get some grips as well. They came through. There's some reproduction ones again, into comparison to an original set, but I want it to look quite new, to be fair. I know there's some original parts like the cranks and the lamp bracket and like the seat post, old chrome, but I want it to look nice, so it's gonna have that look to it. So we'll chuck the front wheel on. Same again, what I've done. These were a wheel set, but I've stripped them down and laced them up with stainless steel spokes, trued them back up. Regarding the front wheel, if you do end up getting the Mark IV front wheel set, you will have to swap out the front hub unless you put grooves in the actual the axle of the front hub. Reason being, so you can slide it up. But if you want to go down the route of getting a genuine 28 hole hub, you can always do that, and then you haven't got to adapt it. Plus, then you'll get your R nuts on it, which is a bonus. Yeah, another thing. These are the R nuts what John Carter does, which are pretty good really, because the parts are getting harder to get hold of, and if you're just trying to get your bike built up, they are a great alternative. I've brought him, and I've always been happy. Well, I've always been happy with John Carter's stuff. He's a genuine enough person. He'll always guide you in the right way. He doesn't give you no bull crap. So yeah, that wheel chucked in. So be waiting to get a sort out front mudguard and the springs in that. So all the bits what are coming through. So we'll do a video on the stand, putting the rear sissy bar on. Yeah, it's starting to look a nice bike now. Really looking forward to it. I love having a rally chopper. They're an awesome bike. In the day when you ride one, so many people look and they're like, I used to have one of them when I was younger, and it just brings back the youth. Especially with what's going off in this world, as everything's going off in this world now. Everybody needs their spirits lifting. We don't want to live all in doom and gloom, do we? Yeah. There we go. Make sure we've got the right clearance on both sides. It's looking nice now. Looking really nice. Right, what we'll do next is I'll pop the handlebars in. I'm going to probably have to get these forks reamed out because the handlebars don't go all fully through. Got a slight dent in the fork, but it won't be too bad. I'm not actually overly bothered about it being that high. Right. Set that to there. pretty cool with adjustable. I mean, tying it up properly well, so they're in. There's that gone now. Just add it. There it is. Roughly where it needs to be. Nip it up slightly. Saying that, I might cut the bottom of the handlebars and put an old style stem lock. So that should be tight now. Just 1 second. Yeah, like I said, I'll probably chop these bars a little bit and then put in a genuine Raleigh nut and bolt. So stem lock bolt and nut on the bottom. So yeah, we're up to that stage now. Like I said, the saddle to go on with the springs, clamps, sleeves, and we've got the standstill to fit, and then the brakes. So yeah, we're getting there, aren't we? It's not be long till this is a complete bike. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, and anything really. It's all appreciated. At the end of the day, all these videos for you guys, give you a download and yeah, just showing you how to build a bike, even if it's on a budget or if it's a newer stock and you're going for mint. At the end of the day, all these bikes, just enjoy them, relive your youth. Oh yeah, another thing, pedals. Let's get set pedals. But yeah, like I say guys, enjoy. Thank you for watching.